Hey Cactus Friends, it's Jenny from Cookies Cacti. Some of you may have seen my post on July 1st that I was wondering if I could do this without crying. I was debating if I wanted to make a video like this. Maybe I'm not quite ready, but I feel like it's needed. Coincidentally, I'm wearing exactly the same shirt that I wore in our video 2 weeks ago that was off cycle. On July 1st, Cookie passed away at home. Cookie was extremely strong and had an extremely strong will to live. And I tried to honor that will all the way through the end, until it reached to a point where it didn't make sense to prolong her life anymore. So I was actually very lucky that when the signs became really clear that there was a vet service that was available that day, in which I made the decision to help her. The last 90 hours of her life was very difficult, but we did manage it, and although I have those pangs of regret or guilt replaying back whether my decisions were all the best for her, I do feel that I honored her, just like I did in managing all of her many multiple health issues for the past few years. So I did hire the service the day of, when it was clear it did not make sense to prolong her life. So she passed away on our bed, in our room, facing the window that looks into our garden. And I remember that day with the vet and her assistant here, I was in full shock. And I think it was right around noon, the moment that Cookie passed. My parents were here, so Cookie's 3 favorite people in the world were here with her. And I was kneeling by the bed and petting her head the whole time. And every time we went to the vet, I had to put her in her carrier, it was always we're going on an adventure. And I remember telling her that, I don't remember if it was in her last moments, but definitely that day, and maybe even on the days prior, that, we're going on an adventure. I know on the video that I posted 2 weeks ago, so many of you left the kindest, most supportive messages, in which I haven't been able to respond to comments on that video and on other recent videos that I posted. I apologize on that. I'm actually even thinking that after I complete recording this video and I upload it onto my laptop and edit it, if I will be able to handle it. I'm even having troubles looking at the logos that we use. Maybe the drawn Cookies Cacti is okay, but I have a closing logo with the real Cookie sitting next to Tom the totem pole cactus with her eyes closed, and she looks so good in that photo, and I have to see how I can handle that. I'm very restless, so my legs are moving here. I remember our 3-year anniversary video where we went over all the Copiopoa seedlings, and I had shared, I don't even remember what kidney failure stage she was at that time. But I know that that video was released sometime, I think in very late May or early June. Right now it is July 4th. The last days, weeks, months are a blur. I'm very lucky that I work from home, so I was able to be with Cookie almost the entire time. And when she was clearly showing those declines, her appetite was starting to wane, I thought that was the hospice care part. No. The end was the true hospice care. I was by her side most hours of the day, and my dad came over to help me so that I could take a shower, so I could be away from her, or try to go out for a walk just to reset, which the walk did help. There were moments where I had felt like I had reached my absolute limit of what I could handle. But that walk, I called my mom, and I talked to my mom on the phone, and my dad stayed with Cookie the whole time. It helped me reset and made me think I can keep going, and I did. There was also something very strange in the timing of everything. Cookie's, I would say like her final decline occurred on Friday evening after work. My dad was here with me, and he witnessed all of it. And then the following week, which is this week, was entering into the July 4th week, in which I had already taken the week off. So the whole thing was timed to align with my schedule such that I could devote my entire days to Cookie. Everything was put on hold. And I would say I've kept it together to a degree because I knew that she needed me. After she died, I did not cry during the euthanasia process, nor I don't remember crying much even that morning. I held it together through the entire process, and I knew, because this is not the first time that I have lost a fur baby. I knew that I was in shock. I even told the vet, as the vet stayed and we were chatting afterwards, that I was in shock, and I was. Then the vet and her assistant left, and it was time for lunch. My parents were here for the whole thing, and my dad was heating up some food, and my mom and dad were talking like normal, and I could hear them, but I also couldn't hear them. It was like this fog I was sitting in this stupor, if that's the right word. And I ate, and still no tears, but it's a really surreal feeling. And I had elected this time because in the past I had regretted that when my animal died, it was like a quick, okay, I got to take them to the post-processing, like cremation, that type of thing. And I regretted it from my last cat, Neo. I regretted moving him out of the house so quickly. So this time I opted that I wanted Cookie's body to be kept here so that we could spend time or honor it and not make it so sudden of just removing her physical body. And it's really interesting, or that may be the wrong word, but while her physical body was here, it felt like things were okay, even though it wasn't. So I got to spent a couple of hours with her body here, and then I knew it was time to take her to the aftercare facility. And My dad was helping to wrap her up in her blanket and place her in it. I had a box already prepared actually while she was alive, because we didn't know when it was going to happen. I thought she was going to die at any moment. Many times she actually gave us these false alarms in those final 90 hours or so. And I told my dad, because he was ready to load her into the car, but I was like, let me walk her through the house one more time, and oh my gosh, I broke. And then we drove her to the facility, and I said it would probably be a good idea if we went somewhere where there are people and there are sounds, and take a walk. And so we went to the mall to take a walk. And then my dad treated us to a very nice dinner at a restaurant. But I think I ate about half of my meal. It was really good, but it was, and I had a really hard time sleeping. I was already exhausted and sleep deprived from the past weeks. I think when I moved into the office to sleep with Cookie, when she had picked that room, I could still sleep okay, but towards the end it was broken nights of sleep, so already in exhaustion. And then after she died, couldn't sleep, especially not in this house. I tried my room. My mom suggested that we clean up the room a little bit, just tidy it up a little bit, make it comfortable. I tried to sleep in there, I couldn't. I moved back into the office, in which probably got a few hours of sleep. The next day, my mom stayed with me that night, and then my dad had gone back to their home, and then he came back. And I kept telling my mom, it's like, don't worry if you see me crying, I'll probably move into my bathroom, and just, it's okay, just let me cry, I need to cry. I broke down so hard. I could feel things just welling up. It's monsoon season in Arizona, and we want rain, and you can see those thunder clouds start to, whatever they're called, thunder clouds start to build up, right? Build, and then release in a huge flood of rain, and I could feel that. I broke down so hard that afternoon, just on my own. I needed some space on my own, in the bathroom, in my room. And it was the regret and guilt. So much regret and guilt. The flashes of the last days, the flashes of the last moment. Regretting I didn't pick her up one last time while she was alive, even though she was very fragile at that moment. Regretting that I didn't kiss her more on her face. Going back and replaying over and over again, did I make the right decision? But I know that in the end, I did my best, considering that I've never been in this type of situation before. I did my absolute best, and I'm so certain that I did honor her will to live. And then I released her when it didn't make sense to prolong life anymore. And then along with the guilt and the regret, which I was actually able to kind of work through and find some peace with some assistance, then came the pure pain of longing and missing. Wanting to be able to touch her body again, but not being able to. Wanting to, actually I can hear her voice because I have hours and hours and hours of her recording. I have, I think, probably days worth of footage of Cookie that is all on my drives and even all uploaded into iMovie, but I don't think I can bear to look at them right now. But right now it's just pure missing her. Like I had a piece of my heart or my soul, a little extension to it, and it had been severed. And I want to say, so many people reached out to me in this time. I started Cookie's Cacti 3 years ago when her health issues first started. The idea was to memorialize her on the internet forever. I never realized that in doing so, I was building a community of support that would be there for me when I lost her. It is the most magical realization. I think it dawned on me yesterday. On Instagram, I can't count how many messages, even people messaging me on Facebook. The number of messages that have come in is incredible, and there are people checking on me every day. People I've never met before. Just interacted. There's some people I don't even know what they look like, but I know their name. And I've built virtual relationships, friendships with them. It's something that I've never had in the past in loss. This is something that I can barely even describe in words what that is. A lot of people who have suffered losses of their own, not only animal losses, whether in the past, recent, but even human losses, parents. It really makes us feel like we're truly not alone. You know, in this life, when you're born, death is guaranteed. So grief is part of every single human being who is here. It makes me wonder how many people, when I see them in public outside, are walking around with that invisible grief. Because right now, if I go to a store and I buy something and the employee says, "How are you?" I will just say, "Oh, how was your day?" "Oh, it was great." I'm not going to say, I just had a major loss from 3 days ago. So how many people are walking out there like this? This connection in this community. There are some grief support groups. There's one grief support group that is centered around pet loss in Phoenix. It's called a Hospice of the Valley. And I'm going to join them on their virtual Zoom session tomorrow. And in the description of when I called them to ask if I could join, they said that they're there to support people because oftentimes pet loss is not understood by everybody, and I totally understand that. And people can feel very alone if they don't have people in a support group who can understand the pain of losing a pet. But this part actually doesn't apply to me because you all are the most supportive, the most understanding of this type of event that person could ever find. This is the most welcoming, open group of people. I'm like grateful and thankful beyond belief to have this group. And I also have the sense that I wish I could give back somehow, which I do have some thoughts, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Just want to show you that on this table there's this beautiful bouquet of flowers that by the way, I've been staying at my parents' place overnight because it's so hard to be in this house because Cookie's memories and she's fully imprinted into the house. There's only one room in this house that doesn't have memories of her, and it doesn't have memories of me either. It's the guest bathroom because neither of us ever used it. But she's seeped into everything, so I'll be sitting in the living room on the couch, and in my mind's eye, the phantom, and my mind's ear, I can imagine, or I'm like anticipating or expecting her to go click, 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 walking around the corner to come join me on the couch. And it's everywhere. I don't even know if you can say it's a phantom. It's just this expectation and anticipation, in our brains go through a very sudden change. It's not very good at sudden changes like that. And I was reading how our nervous system is just like on overdrive and is so overwhelmed with everything. I do feel, even though this is, Cookie died, it's like 3 days, about 4 hours and 40 minutes ago. So it hasn't been that long, but I do feel that it's getting a little bit better, more tolerable in the house. But I think I'll just stay with my parents, at least overnight, for maybe a little bit of time until I'm ready to spend the nights here. I was at a point where I was dreading the end of the day when the sun would go down. Oh, turn on all the lights in the house. I was doing that even when Cookie was still alive. Just dreading the night and feeling enclosed. And it's so hot in Arizona right now that if I could, I would just sleep outside in the yard, under the stars in the open sky. But you can't do that right now. It's too hot. So you feel like you're kind of trapped and suffocating and almost claustrophobic inside the house. So I was at my parents' place, and then my dad and I came back because coincidentally my car battery died a couple days ago. So I needed to come back to take care of that so I have my ability to be mobile again. And when we came back, on my front door mat, I saw a bouquet of flowers here. And I was like, I wonder who sent it. This beautiful bouquet of flowers. Turns out it was the clinic for the internal medicine staff and doctor that we've been working with for the past 1.5 years. It's so sweet. It even came with a message that said, "We are so sorry for your loss of sweet Cookie. It was an honor to be a part of her life. Wishing you comfort and peace in the memories you hold dear." It's just so sweet. And I've got, because I was going back to my parents yesterday, and this table's not being used right now, so I put ceramic cookie that Galena sent me. Ceramic cookie has accompanied the entire process of everything in the end. So this little ceramic cookie witnessed everything. The euthanasia service cut off a lock of Cookie's hair, which I asked them if they could capture all 3 colors, and they did. Colors are in there. Oh. And they also made a paw print. You probably can't see it very well there. Let me see if I can. They made a paw print, and they put this all in here, and they allowed me to choose a couple of charms on here. There's even Cookie's hair that's sticking out of the claw part of the print. And then I just placed Cookie's box of toys here, in which I would say this one was probably one of her favorites. She doesn't care for any toy that I buy her. She likes like this free stuff. And another one that she loves is the twisty ties on bread. If you kind of form it into a coil, that was her other favorite, probably in the last part of her life when she was still doing well. This one was one of her favorite, ribbon. And then this one, which one of my viewers, BJ's Clay sent me. His husband made this for Cookie. Her things, having a hard time kind of slowly moving some of her things away, but also there's some things that I just can't move yet. Even her litter has her paw prints on it, and I just don't have the heart to erase it or move it right now. So I'll just leave it there until I'm ready. But I did pick up her bowls and wash them and then place them into a container, telling myself that not removing them, just setting them aside for now. And seeking information about like removing things and moving things of the deceased, and how all those items have served their purpose. They have completed their work. Maybe let me show you one more thing that I did. So I had planned this while Cookie was still alive. I told myself that the day she died, I would sow seeds, and so I did. I forgot if it was the back 6, I think the back 7, you can't see this very well. There are 7 3¼ inch pots in the back, which I sowed the day that Cookie died at night. And then the next 2 days, I continued sowing seeds. what's special about this entire tray is all the seeds are from my own plants, Cookie's plants. So there's like a mix of astrophytum, pharaoh cactus, I think some mammillaria, a whole ton of ariocarpus, even though the chances of those doing well is probably not great, but I mean, that's what the experience was when Cookie was still alive, so kind of brings back that spirit a bit. So I did sow some seeds. I just hope some of them make it. So I sowed it from July 1st, July 2nd, and then July 3rd. I have 2 more videos that I had made before, and they're already uploaded and ready to be released. So there will be a video released, let's see, today's Friday, so this Sunday, and there will be one more video released the Sunday following. I also have footage from, I think I have some like shopping footage and some other footage that I've already may have just started editing, but I'm nowhere near completed. So I do have some footage I can work on. I just don't quite know how to structure the video in a way, in the sense that, you know how my goal this year was to put Cookie into the video, into every single YouTube video that I released. And now I have a ton of footage of Cookie. I just don't know if it feels right or not to continue including footage of her. Maybe it would, just to keep her memory alive, in which I will be keeping her memory alive forever. I mean, the fact that this channel is called Cookie's Cacti means that we're never going to stop saying her name. But I still don't know what feels right. I'm just going to do what feels right. And on top of all of this week has been very heavy. I'm not going to go into details on this. I'm just going to keep it kind of generic, is that one of my very close family members is, let's say, there are some health issues that have come up. And actually it came up the day before Cookie died. Future is unknown on this. I don't know, because I'm going to help the devotion that I showed Cookie, I'm going to devote here as well. I don't know what's going to happen to the videos and everything, so we'll just kind of play it by ear and see how things go. Because once I use up all the footage that I already have, I'm not sure, maybe I'll just do like maybe some lower effort videos that are easy done at home, because we still have lots of seedling updates and stuff that we can always do, and some like feature focuses on certain types of plants. But we'll just see how things go. This is the most heavy July 4th week I have ever experienced. The thing that we have been anticipating has come and it has gone now. I'm going to sign off for now for another off-cycle video. I kind of don't have the heart to rewatch what I had said in the previous one. So I remember in there I said that maybe the next video would be an update on Cookie, or maybe she would have passed already, and look at us 2 weeks later that Cookie has passed. So I'm going to sign off now. Let me see if I decide to use our closing logo or not. So those 2 videos that will be coming up, they will contain footage of Cookie at that time, and obviously it was taken before she passed. So I'm going to sign off now, and once again I want to say a huge thank you to all of you. You all are the most amazing community of people that I could have ever found, and I never would have imagined it would have been done through YouTube and Instagram. Thank you.